All right, I showed you recently how to do a Proctor. This Proctor is for DOT in South Carolina, and it is different than both ASTM and ASHTO's method. So what our DOT requires is whatever is retained on the 3/4, which is this material, this is 7,000 grams, we have to replace that material with material that passes the 3/4 but is retained on the number 4. So when we sample our rock, we always get an extra bucket. That way we can use it for the corrected rock. So we're going to sieve this rock over the 3/4 into a new pan, and then we're going to take that material and sieve it over a number 4 sieve, and the material that sits on the 4 sieve will take out 7,000 grams of it, which is the weight of the oversized, and add it to this sample that's here. So that's a very unique method that isn't really ASHTO or ASTM, but that is DOT. All right, we've got it all done. This is the material passing the number 4, that gets discarded. This is the material retained on the number 3/4 or the 3/4 inch sieve, that gets discarded. And what's left in the middle are these rocks. So that's going to get added to the original sample as a replacement rock. All right, we've got all the material weighed here. We're going to take that material and it gets added directly to this. And that's how you do rock correction for South Carolina. Now, to get this machine set up for modified rock Proctor, you have to open it up, and you can see this is the weight that changes this from a 5.5 pound to a 10 pound, but this is the standard head. For rock, you have to use this triangular looking head. That's so it works on the 6-inch mold. I'll show you how to get that changed out. So what you do is slide this out. Well, you want to put that under that, well, it won't work. Slide that out, and these both come out together, like that. Then you take this one, and it goes right here, and then that same mechanism goes right there. So that's all locked in. And then you have an alignment tool here that keeps it from rotating at the bottom. Keeps this from rotating. And then you know you have it set to modify because that release right here, this little notch, I don't know if you can even see that, that notch releases it. If you want it on standard, you set it down here to the bottom notch, not to the top. That's how it works. Get the mold in place. All right, got 5 bags. Those are 6,000 grams bags. We have a little bit left over just in case. And then we have a 6,000 grams here. This is completely dry, so we're not losing any moisture. 6,000 grams here, 5 6,000 gram bags there. I'll show you how to do a rock Proctor. We're gonna wanna start this at 4%. We're gonna assume there's a 0.5% of moisture in it. So we're gonna start at 210 milliliters. First one. And yes, we will also put this in the software as we do it, but I like to have a paper backup. All right, we got 6,000 grams. We've got 210 grams or milliliters of water. And again, because this material is GP or GW classified, there's no waiting period after you add water. Bagged up, ready to go. And definitely don't forget to move the arm out of the way, which I've never done. Modified rock. You see the overlapping pattern there? Maybe. You want that pattern to match this. Slightly overlapping. Make sure the bottom is clean, doesn't have any stuff on it. Now the lift end. A little bit more. Turn that up. Put that under there, drop that. That's good. Out the way, close. Last lift. Now the last lift is the most important because you don't want it to be sticking up too high, but it does need to be sticking up some. Having it under is just as bad or worse than having it too far over. All right. Now we got the last lift on. Want to carefully rotate the collar. All right. Got that loose. And so we've got the top here. I'll show you a trick. When you're trimming this off, you want to be careful not to lose a bunch of rocks. But with granite, there's always going to be some voids that you can't really prevent. And the ASTM, even though this is DOT, it does allow you to refill those with fines. Now a trick is take the leftover material through a sieve. In this case it's a number 8, but the size doesn't matter as much. Shake that across and then take the fines to fill those voids. That way, you're not left with a bunch of voids that alter your results. It keeps everything consistent because you do it the same. Like so. See? Nice and consistent. Now you want to brush off. Sometimes what I do is stick this on the collar. Makes it easier to clean. Don't have to worry about it sitting on a bunch of mess. Now we're ready to weigh it. Now instead of trying to split this down the middle like you would with a soil sample, that won't be possible with rock. So instead, what we'll do and empty it in its entirety. We'll blend that all together and then take our moisture sample directly from that, and our tare is win. And we didn't show this, but this time, just like last time, we also took a sample to put on the burner so we don't have to wait on the oven dried sample. That's the first point. We're gonna do 4 or 5 more, and I'll come back and show you the results. Oh, just to show you the data. So the soil plus the mold is 22.9. The mold weight I'll have to get, and then we multiply that times the volume to get the wet density. And then once the moisture is done, we'll be able to calculate the dry density. So that's where we're at. Stay tuned. All right, we got all of the samples done. These are our 4 moisture samples. They're all cooled down. We'll weigh these up and do the math. All right, we've got all the data points plotted, and you can see our Proctor here is 137 at about 7.1%. So it's a good looking curve, but I also wanted to show you what would happen if we had done the rock correction in accordance with ASTM. Remember, this is a SCDOT Proctor. It doesn't follow ASTM exactly because we don't do the rock correction. That would have actually looked like this. So we had 18.4% oversized, and if we would have applied the correction factor per ASTM, the final Proctor would have actually been a 141.9, and since SCDOT requires 100% compaction, it would have been very hard for them to achieve passing compaction tests in the field using that 141.9 corrected factor. So those are just the 2 methods. Really important to understand what method you're testing to and to make sure you're performing that test correctly and letting the lab know which test it is to perform correctly. Hope you enjoyed.